Hello and welcome to your weekly Newsdump. My name is Artem Volov, CEO of Akord Properties, and here we talk about everything connected with Dubai real estate, global and Dubai finance, and actually we just talk about anything which piqued my interest this week. Please subscribe to our social media, like our videos. Let's get into the news. So this week we're finally back in the office. My office is finally set up for the news pieces. The streaming setup you can see right behind me. You see the sofa. This is really cool that I finally got a space to get out to you all the formats I would ever want. All the equipment is brand new. That feels actually quite nice to film on it, although I did scrap the initial filming. Initial filming exists out there. It has no audio, unfortunately. It never recorded correctly. So yeah, there's that thing.
No! God, please, no! No!
Regarding the market and the business, business going great. I came back to market, ramping up significantly. Later on in the news, we discussed some special characters camping overnight for a villa, which is an interesting choice of activity. I don't agree with that, but each to their own, okay? Anyway, so there's a lot of new things launching. The summer was more of a quiet season. There weren't many off-plan launches. Now there's a lot of off-plan launches. There's a lot of deliveries of apartments and hotel apartments, and it gets to the crazy level of work finally. It gets there again. So once again, I'll look like I haven't slept for weeks, every week. Great. That's how it works. Outside of that, let's get into the news. First news piece coming right from Dubai is probably the most talked about, biggest piece of news this week. So brokers been queuing overnight to secure plots and villas on one of the first fronts of the Palm Jebel Ali. What is Palm Jebel Ali? It's the second palm. You've probably seen that. The first palm is Palm Jumeirah, now pretty much finished, out of fresh plots, can only get anything on secondary markets. Off plan, tough chance. Palm Jebel Ali is twice the land area, and it's based in Jebel Ali. Honestly, queuing for the first row of plots on this palm, I don't think it's the smartest move. I don't think it's what reasonable people do. Those plots, they're not going to be very predictable. Let's talk about the differences here. The Palm Jumeirah have been built in Jumeirah, right next to Marina, right next to Dubai's Pearl. It's already developed area with a lot of infrastructure. It's just an add-on to this area. In Jebel Ali, there's not much going on at all, whatsoever. It's right on the edge of Dubai's borders with Abu Dhabi. It's a massive development still. And I'm not yet sure where it's going to be in terms of profitability as an investment. I would assume people just wanted this specific front and give them benefit of a doubt that they wanted it for themselves for whatever reasons it is. They want to be away from Dubai maybe, but still paying $5 million for those plots is a bit overpriced as well. I think what's happening is a lot of people are looking at the people who bought the plots on the original Palm and looking at them making 1,000% on their investment over past 10, 13 years, right? That is a brilliant rate of income, of course, no questions asked. But I don't think this miracle will ever be repeated in the second Palm. Once again, it's twice the land area, so there's so much more to go around. It's incredible. So even filling it with developments will be a massive undertaking, which will take a while. It will take longer to develop this Palm than it took to develop the Palm Jumeirah. It will take over a decade for it to fully take shape. I believe it will be a great place. I just don't believe it will be more of luxurious villas kind of environment. Because they're very close to Dubai's second airport, which will be more tourism focused rather than hub focused like the DXB. So that making it great opportunity to build the all-inclusive hotels, the kind of resort-style living, right? A bit away from the city for more of a passive rather than an active tourist. And this is where I would bet my money, and that's where I would expect it to be, because it's far from the city infrastructure. It doesn't have its own infrastructure yet. What you need to look out for is very different things. It's more of all-inclusive big developments. Because if you look at that, it's just villas. For a developer, building villa or selling a plot is the minimum time and effort and commitment investment they need to do, because villa doesn't come with a whole infrastructure. It doesn't come with extra territories. All you need to do is bring electricity, bring water, bring gas, and bring a road. That's all you got to do. There's no big undertakings regarding the foundations building, regarding attracting the retailers, attracting the supermarkets, attracting the restaurants, attracting the nightclubs, bars, beach clubs. All of that is not necessary for villa developments. And they're starting there. They're starting carefully. They're treading carefully, which is a lot of respect to Nahil for. Nahil is actually being smart here and treads carefully on the new area. They're not rushing head first at all. And I implore you to follow their lead and to keep your eye on this project. This project could become very profitable, could become very cool, but it also could become pretty average in an investment. I don't think it's going to fail. There's a number of issues, you can find them all over in line with this project, which they will overcome. I have no doubts in that. But will it boom like the Palm Jumeirah? I don't think it ever will. I think it will boom to a lesser extent, and I think the best investments there will be in a kind of a hotel, all-inclusive lifestyle buildings and developments. So don't rush headfirst for those villas. For this price, we can offer you much cooler options on the market right now, both in similar area and in different areas. Okay, keep yourself posted. Keep your eye out. We will keep our eyes out as well on big developments with big infrastructure built in. Seeing any announcements of mall being built and the development around that, so that would be obviously one of the prime places in the whole area. The villas are very secondary in this project. You need to have a very, very, very good look at it and not rush headfirst like some people did. And I respect their risk-taking. Maybe I'll be wrong, they'll win. I don't know. I don't think so. iPhone news. As I'm speaking, iPhone just been released in shops. And unfortunately, in Dubai, it was a massive queue for the new iPhone. There was a fight for the new iPhone, all the classics, the full gravy, right? That makes me so angry. It's incredible. Why would you queue for a new iPhone? It's just like the previous one, and the next one will be just the same. iPhones are not innovating at the speed they used to be for past, what, 8 years, 5 years? I don't know. For a while now, you can't tell them apart. They're all the same generation after generation. This one has a different port on the bottom. That's about it. That's the news about the new iPhone. That's all you can say. And people fight for it. And they fight for it because they're going to resell it. Because somebody who's even stupider than the guys who are queuing for it going to buy it for triple the price because it's new and just came out. There's a very secret technique, actually, called online ordering. Online ordering. You heard about that? You just get it a few days later. Not on the first day or second day, but you get it like within a week or two. And you got the newest iPhone and you, I don't know, got to brag to your friends who just as clueless about it being the same thing as the previous year. Queuing for it overnight. Fighting for, I would do anything to not do that. This is just humiliating to be a part of that. In any way, shape, or form. If you're the person who ready to pay extra for the newest iPhone on a launch day, or ready to queue overnight for a new iPhone when nothing new has been introduced, when the only new thing is a different shaped port on the bottom, I'm sorry. Please turn off this video now. Stop watching it. Don't want you here. I'm sorry. This is absurd news. This is saddening. This is annoying. I just had to vent. That's the only reason I include this news, is to rant about how much I hate this practice and how absurd and stupid I find it. That's it. All right. Now I'm calm. Now I'm relaxed. Not angry anymore. And on to the next one. Dubai on its way to overtake Las Vegas in the number of hotel room keys. There's more hotel rooms in Las Vegas, just about, than it is in Dubai. But at the rate they're delivering the new hotel rooms to the market right now with the building boom in Dubai, before Christmas they would have overtaken Las Vegas. And that shows you a lot. That means a lot. So the first one is, obviously the first thing I hear is a concern. You are hiking up supply like crazy. The price is going to drop. Me as an investor are going to lose out money, right? Because that's what first thing our mind should come to when we hear about huge spike in supply, right? That the price on our unit as a rental, as a short-term hotel type of rental, via Airbnb, Booking.com, etc., will drop. Theoretically, yes. In practice, right now, Dubai is looking to accept over 1 million people this summer as tourists. Over 1 million people. It's not even high season yet. It's nowhere near close. The weather still sucks. And the city already feels overcrowded with tourists. I already see a lot of people who are clearly lost their way because they don't know the city. I see a lot of people driving and being very confused in the Dubai's intersections, because good luck working that out without good experience. And you know what? That's great. That means that we're keeping up with demand. Demand is rising just as sharply as supply. I don't think the building boom will be as aggressive in the future, and the tourist rates will be rising slightly less aggressively in the future as well. So I hope the prices will at least retain a current equilibrium, probably still rise due to issues with other tourist destinations. And looking at the market right now, actually, our investors, getting best ever profits in their short terms. There's no issue with oversupply. There's issue with over demand. They actually had premium rates throughout the summer on their short-term rentals. They have them busier than ever. They have them at the most expensive than they ever had. They are doing really well. So shouldn't be worrying you. Should be just getting the positive side of Dubai's promotion of its tourism working really well and attracting a lot of travelers and a lot of tourists and a high net worth tourists, which is even more important. So your average check here will be so much more than in Thailand, and people are prepared to pay it. And that's incredible for industry, because you make so much more of a margin off a single tourist that everybody's making better return on their investment once again. And then it also boosts the infrastructure for tourism, getting you a feedback effect of more tourists coming in, etc. So only positive news for whoever is getting into those short-term rentals in Dubai. Once again, reminding you, Akord Properties are here for you. We can sort you out on that path, get you started at a fairly reasonable pricing, get you into more premium and higher volume later on. Fully managed, fully hands-off. Don't even need to come to Dubai if you don't want to. Although I advise you, because the season starts soon and it's actually going to be nice to spend a week here, okay? So research short-term rental markets yourself, look into it, contact us, we'll help to guide you through that. Moving on to the news coming from UK, the Bank of England actually voted against raising the base rate. First time in a while. That means the economic downfall is stabilizing. It doesn't mean it's stopped. It means it's stabilizing. The recession economy is reaching its recession equilibrium, which is a less scary situation to be in, and it's less dynamic, which means now you can actually plan in a reasonable time frames, and you can actually plan how you move your investment outside of UK, because you shouldn't keep it in UK when it's in recession. It doesn't mean it's gonna get better, or property prices gonna rise, or inflation gonna slow down significantly. It just means things are not spiraling out of control. That's all it means. And that's already great news, and I'm really appreciating that, because I would love for London to bounce back stronger. Because I love the place. I lived a lot in there. I lived probably half of my life in London, and most of my adult life. So this place is extremely important to me. But as a financial advice, not necessarily going to advise anyone to base their finances in London as of now. And I'm saying from personal experience, me, everybody in my family, we moved everything we own from London. I think the only thing I have in London is my PlayStation 4, which my mate uses, but I give up on it. Otherwise, it's some decent news. It means we're in a reasonable time. So take it as a good signal for you to start thinking about the financial moves you're making next. Think about it, be cool-headed about it. Now there's no significant need to rush. So come on in and talk to us. That will be very, very cool to talk to you and help you work out what you need. But in general, what I'm saying is, don't just go Dubai, go international. That's your sign to be a person who brings their wealth management from national scale to international scale. That's what's important. So you have eggs in so many baskets There's no chance in the world you're going to get screwed. That's how you build generational wealth. That's how you build wealth in general. The next article is from The National. It's a lot of figures, it's a lot of graphs, it's all the nerdy stuff I absolutely love myself, and I always look into. It talks about a lot of different parameters, brings in a lot of figures. Some of them I've seen before and kept a track of. Some of them I might have missed, especially being on vacation last month. So we have really two takeaways I want to talk about. So before the summer, me and the team, we rush over filming to Dubai Harbor and specifically MR Beachfront, because I know that's the best project, that's the coolest stuff ever. And I talked with a lot of clients about it, previous to that and after that. And I always say, this project is unique. It's gonna go up in price and up and up and up like you've never seen before. This is the most profitable thing you can find in Dubai. Obviously, clients are very skeptical. They figured I'm trying to sell them onto something. It's hard to sell, or maybe something is more profitable for me to sell, which is unfortunately not true. Honestly, when you're being sold MR, be aware, guys are selling you something which has the lowest commission on the market right now. So if they're selling MR, either they have very special relationship with MR and need to build up something in volumes, or they genuinely believe it's a great product, which it usually is. The thing is with MR, usually it is a great product. That's kind of hallmark of the developer. It'll be guaranteed to be a successful area in the city, a successful development, a successful neighborhood. So this one rose in single-digit percentages over last month. Over last month, 3 or 4% increase in price in MR Beachfront. You do realize that's monthly. It grew more in a month than a property would grow in Europe over a year in value itself. I'm not even mentioning the rental prices right now and the short-term rent profitability. It is absolutely beyond imagination. It's the incredible area, great, and it will grow like that. You'll see by New Year's it will be the hottest thing. Everybody would be fighting to get an apartment. Nobody will be selling. And it's once again like it was with Creek Harbor, where I told people that's a great area. Come in now. It's just opening up. The first building's been delivered. Come in and get an apartment. Now start renting. You'll see. It will be growing like crazy. And it grew like crazy. And now it's insane in there. The same I told about MR Beachfront. Once again, every time the customer says, sure, let's look into it, they come and look, and they come back and say, you know what, actually I want something in downtown. And I can respect it. Of course, downtown or Business Bay can be the safest choice. They're always going to be at a certain level. They're always going to be in demand. Great long-term investment, but no incredible profits. You can have so much more with different areas when you're actually looking into the market. And if we look in the past few months, Business Bay and downtown Dubai are two only areas which had an insignificant but a drop in their rental prices on average, which sounds like an end of the world. It's not. It's within statistical error. It's essentially just stays the same now. That's it. They reach their market value. They equalize there. They will stay at a certain level. They will grow exactly at the speed of UAE's economy and no more. Because They're well recognized, they're fully developed, they're fully formed. Everybody's moved in, everything is functioning. There's no need to predict the future on them, so there's no profits for people who do. Although Business Bay, there's a few developments I believe are extremely underappreciated and needs to be looked into by developers on case-by-case basis. As an area, Business Bay equalized. Same downtown, especially downtown. So if you want to go safe, of course you can go with downtown, but really talk to a broker, have a bit of trust, sit together with them and look at the numbers. If your broker worth anything, they're not talking based on their intuition, they're talking based on numbers. And they will show you the numbers, they'll show you what they're looking for. They'll show you maybe some news articles or the development plans which have been officially approved. And you'll see where they're coming from with all the project valuation and their predictions for growth. The other one is what I already touched, is the rental prices. And the proportion of rental price to the purchase price. So the best return on investment, if we just get rent, is currently Silicon Oasis, which very much surprised me. I absolutely missed that area myself. Not gonna even pretend like I knew that or expected it. It's very far away from anything I care for myself in Dubai, although I believe it's becoming a nice tech and startup cluster. So obviously you got relatively high net worth people moving in, and the properties themselves are ultra cheap because they're so far away from everything. It's just middle of the desert, really. But because that's where jobs are, people are moving in and people move in there. That's my theory. I need to look into the numbers and I need to have a look at the projects there and what's being built and what's been built and what's delivered and what's on the rental market and what's on the secondary market right now. Once I looked into that, I would know better. I would also need to go there and see it for myself, essentially touch and feel it as well, because that's important to see what's going on there. Do I see people there in the streets, what it's like in the morning, what it's like in the evening? That's actually part of the research every broker has to do once again, and I'm doing it in person all the time, taking brokers with me to check out the area. So we'll investigate. It might be a credible entry-level area for investment. It might be statistical anomaly we're looking at. I don't yet know, but I'm saying that's very exciting when you find this kind of news and you go and you investigate. You feel like a real detective there. So on to the next one. So last in our news, and frankly the most important, is this beach season, this winter, 3 new beach clubs are going to be open in Dubai. I have bought my Villa Break-ins, I have bought my linen shirts. I'm going there. That's what I'm planning to do. The first one will be based in W the Palm. W the Palm is very cool, and if you're familiar with W hotels, they're very stylish, very modern, very kind of party 24/7 kind of feel. And it's gonna be live DJs, it's gonna be party. That's where I'm going with a bunch of my mates, drunk partying. Simple as that. That's what it's for. That's how I'm going there. Okay, fine. This beach club will be on a palm. It will be on an expensive side, of course. The beach itself will be gonna kinda suck, but who cares? You're there to party. You're there for a DJ, you're there for drinks. That's it. The next one is opening in Palm West Beach, once again on the palm, but on the stalk of the palm rather than the surrounding shape, which they say is a crescent. Anyway, The next one is also going to be more of a party one, a bit of a smaller. The funny thing with that one is it's going to be Florida themed. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure. For me, Florida associates with four things: alligators, swamps, elderly, and very unusual crime. I'm not sure which one they're following, but neither sounds like something I would want to see in a beach club. Well, maybe unusual crime actually could be fun, but I would rather not. Otherwise, still worth going. The whole West Palm Beach is stunning. If you don't like this party, you just walk over to a party next door and you enjoy that. No risks involved, so might as well. And the last one will be more of restaurants on the beach and more of a gastronomy experience, and probably a much nicer beach itself as well. It will be where the former La Mer was. So La Mer was closed last winter, and now they're reopening it in a more premium iteration. After extensive renovation they done to it, they demolished all the old stuff. They built up the new, more premium infrastructure. They're reopening it, and the centerpiece will be the new beach club with world-renowned chefs. So it will be an incredible restaurant experience, and it will be a very calm, cool, relaxing place to just get some suntan, to enjoy the sea and enjoy the sun. So definitely visiting this one on one of the quieter days as well. So that's about it for our news. As you can see, I included the most important things: the iPhone and the beach clubs. The rest, obviously, secondary. You don't care for that. Thank you for getting that far through, and see you next week.